Hey, what's going on everyone? Entering Infinity here. Today I'm back with a brand new video to discuss Demon Slayer Season 2, Episode 1. Let's jump into it. Alright, so I'm so excited to be back and able to talk about Season 2 of Demon Slayer. Season 1 was before I had my channel, so I wasn't able to talk to it, and it was just such an amazing experience. I couldn't wait to get to Season 2, and it's felt like it's been so long for it to come back, but now it's finally back, and I'm so excited to be able to have my channel to be able to talk about it. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of preface with that, because, I'm really excited. I just absolutely love this anime, and I just couldn't wait to talk about it. So Season 2, Episode 1, I believe it's some kind of like a special episode. I'm not sure if it's canon to the manga or not, but either way, I didn't care going into it, because it's about the Flame Hashira, Kyojuro, Rengoku, so I am really happy that we get to see more of his character, because I feel like up until this point we've been kind of starved of, some backstory and kind of more content surrounding the Hashira, and after seeing the movie, you just really come to love this character, and you just want to get more content from it. So I'm really happy that they kind of put this episode in to bridge like what happens before the start of the movie, where he gets onto the train. So it's a little bit of a backstory, a little bit more content, and a little bit for us as viewers to kind of see more about his character. So I was like super happy going into it, and boy was I not disappointed. So I'm pretty much going to walk through the episode, kind of give my thoughts throughout. Yeah, all my reviews, if you're new to my channel, do contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, hit that pause button, go check out the episode, and then come back after so you can hear me talk about some spoilers and kind of my thoughts on everything. So that was the last spoiler warning. So pretty much the episode starts off where Rengoku's in a noodle shop. Guy comes to meet him there. I'm not sure if we've ever seen him before, and I'm not entirely sure whether or not he's just like a messenger, if he's more of like a lieutenant type character. I'm not really sure like how he ranks among like the Demon Slayer organization. Pretty much he kind of meets up with him in this noodle shop. He like orders some noodles for him, and Rengoku is just being classic Rengoku and just super fiery and passionate and just like yelling out every single bite he has is delicious, which is part of the comedy from the movie that was really funny, and I'm really glad that they kind of like brought it back into this episode, because that was a really funny thing, and then now you kind of get to see it even more so I like that they did that to kind of tie it all together. And they kind of sit together and they talk about what's been going on with like the Mugen Train, how 40 people went missing, and now there's this slasher going around just like slaughtering people, and now like all these people are living in fear in the village and nobody's really going out, and the businesses are suffering, so obviously it's not a good situation. And Rengoku's like, I gotta put a stop to this. So he pretty much intends to go out and set on an investigation to see if he can find more about this slasher demon, and also, find a way how to get to the Mugen Train. So that's pretty much where the episode kicks off. The art and animation of this episode, you're gonna hear me rave about it over and over again. I was just absolutely blown away. Studio Ufotable is just on a whole nother level. Like, I honestly can't even think of a better studio. And I'm so happy that they're animating this series, and I wish they could just animate every series, because they are truly just unbelievable. Like, the art and the animation throughout this entire episode was just a 10 out of 10. Even for such like kind of like a fillery episode like this, how much everything was on point just absolutely blew me away. Yeah, and even like the little shots of like the restaurant owner when he was cooking the noodles, like the animation was just absolutely gorgeous. And then when he gives them the plate of like the steaming noodles, like, oh my god, I was like drooling. I wanted to jump through the screen and just eat it. It looks so good. And it's just a testament to like the art and the animation and everything that went into the production of this episode. Just, oh my god, just absolutely fantastic. So then from there they have their little conversation, they eat, and then they leave there to go kind of see if they can find out some more information. So then we kind of meet these two other characters, where it's like this little girl and it looks like her grandmother. They're selling like these bento boxes at the train station, but again, like the other businesses, they're suffering because people aren't really going out. The Mugen Train got shut down because 40 people like magically disappeared, which is pretty much they got eaten by demons. It's really kind of bad for business in the town overall and their economy. So we got a little bit of introduction to those two characters, and then Rengoku shows up, and like he just like has no chill. He just goes right up to them and is like, have you seen these demons? And they're just like, everyone's just really taken back, because like nobody talks about that. Demons aren't like a well-known thing amongst like regular humans, and to just talk about it so blatantly is like pretty taboo and crazy. So they're very shocked by it, and it's a really funny moment. The girl's like, stay away from me, and she like takes her little pork bun thing and like throws it in his face, which is really funny. And then he just like takes it and like takes a bite out of it, and he goes like, delicious, and like he does his thing when he eats. So that was just a really nice little bit of comedy we had there. It's pretty much just setting up kind of who these people were going to be throughout the episode, because obviously we're going to be tying back to them later on. So pretty much he learns about, like, you know, a little bit more about the demon and the Mugen Train, and then they go to head out, and then when he's heading out, the girl's like, can you please buy some bento boxes? And he ends up buying all of them, which, you know, was really nice of him, so glad to see that. So he ends up buying all the bento boxes, and he, like, makes the other dude, like, carry them all back to other people as, like, a present, and then he was going to bring some to go see the Mugen Train to help him, like, you know, kind of covertly sneak into there. He was going to pretend like he was delivering bento boxes. So we see him leave there and, like, go on another train that's heading to the rail yard where he's expecting the Mugen Train to be. And then the conductor comes by. He's like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I'm just a regular person selling bento boxes, just minding my own business. And the dude's like, this is going to the train yard. Like, where are you going? He's like, oh, I'm supposed to deliver these to the Mugen Train. And then he points out the window and he's like, no, like, it's actually, like, over there in that separate train yard because it's being worked on. They're doing, like, some kind of maintenance or something. So he's like, all right, cool, that's where I gotta go. So then he's like, all right, I'm gonna get off here. And the conductor's like, are you crazy? Like, pretty much, like, you're gonna get killed. The train's moving. And he just jumps off the train, and the conductor, like, freaks out. And that part was pretty funny. Rengoku kind of just hop off and go to the train station, or, like, the rail yard. And my God, was that scene absolutely beautiful. Again, the entire episode just beyond gorgeous, but the art of, like, the rail yard and, like, when he's, like, going in there, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Every little detail of that rail yard was just absolutely flawless and gorgeous, and all the animation and the art was just truly, truly on point. Couldn't get enough of it. So he goes in there, pretends like he's with the Railroad Association, just dropping off some bento boxes, so all the workers were excited because they're rushing to try to finish the Mugen Train maintenance because it was going to be going back into service the next night. That's where the movie picks up. So this is kind of the little bit of in between. So while he's kind of handing out the bento boxes, like, you hear, like, a scream in the distance, and Rengoku senses it, that there's a demon there, and it ends up being the slasher demon. He's, like, holding the kid hostage, and he's, like, saying he's gonna kill him, and then Rengoku's, like, ready to go with his sword, like, ready to just kill him, but he can't because he's, like, holding the kid. So it was, like, a whole dilemma. And this demon is, like, specializes in speed, so he can move super fast. So he's like, yeah, like, nobody's ever been able to catch me ever, like, I'm too fast. And Rengoku, like, you know, between the speed and the kid, he, like, couldn't really do anything to save the kid at that point in time, but he's like, I'm gonna rescue you, like, don't worry. One of the two questions I had regarding demon in general was, one, like, his fingers were impaling the kid. So my understanding, I know it's been a while since season 1, but my understanding is that if you get scratched by a demon and you survive, you turn into a demon. And we even saw that previously when the head guy of all the demons that looks like Michael Jackson, we saw him in, like, the middle of the town square, and he just scratched the back of the neck of one of the people, and the dude just, like, turned instantly into a demon. So I'm not sure why, when this particular slasher demon slashes humans, that they're not turning into demons. Like, I'm not really sure how that works, or if that's been explained before. If it has, by all means, let me know in the comment section below. That was one of the things that was a little bit confusing to me. And then the other one with him is that we're going to get into, but, you know, he doesn't seem like he eats the humans, which is the whole point of the demons, is they try to eat as many humans as they can, and then they get stronger the more they eat. So this particular demon was shown just going around and just, like, slashing people, but not actually eating them, which I didn't really understand that either, because, like, what do you have to gain in doing that if you're just killing people for sport, but not consuming them? Because you would think that you would want to consume them so that you would get more powerful. So that part I didn't really understand what was going on with there, unless there was a motive behind it, but unless, like, they wanted those people to be found, because, like, in the case of the Mugen Train, everyone thought those people went missing when they got eaten, so maybe it was on purpose that they wanted to leave the bodies behind all slashed up. I don't know. I just thought that was one of my two kind of questions. I was like, huh? I don't really get that part. But besides that, so then he's, like, about to just kill the kid, and then Rengoku just goes and makes a move. With one precise strike, he chops off the demon's hands that's holding the kid and manages to grab the kid, while the demon kind of just jumps outside, and his hands, you know, respawn pretty instantly because, you know, the demons can regenerate. And, you know, he performs first aid on the kid so that when his medical division comes to help him, so then his backup arrives and they say that the medical unit is coming soon. So then Rengoku leaves to go chase down the demon, who is, like, you know, super fast. So the demon said that he was going to go kill the old woman and the little girl at the train station because he hates the smell of food. He smelled the bento box, and now he's gonna go kill the old woman and the little girl that's at the train station. So he takes off super fast, and Rengoku, kind of got slowed up having to save the kid and give him first aid. So now you see Rengoku do his total concentration breathing. He's running on the train tracks, and he gets faster and faster and faster. Then he kind of gets like engulfed in flames and just kind of shoots really fast, which is like pretty sweet to see. So then it cuts to the demon, and he gets to the train station, and the little girl and the grandmother are trying to fend him off. But he ends up getting the little girl outside on the train tracks, and he's holding her by the neck, about to kill her. And then you just see like a huge flame approaching, and Rengoku comes and like just such a boss. Like he manages to like grab the little girl from him while also simultaneously slashing the demon's Achilles tendon. And we get a nice little shot of that. I'll include the picture up above me, and like you see like the cut and the blood kind of coming off of his Achilles to pretty much, he just in one swipe just took away his ability to move super fast, which was obviously brilliant strategic move by Rengoku, and just kind of further adds on to like, how he's like, he's not an idiot, that he is very smart, and strategic when it comes to battle. So the demon has to kind of limp away, and he saves the little girl. But now the demon's going after the grandmother inside the train station. So then Rengoku goes in there, and the demon's like, saying how fast he is, and that he'll never stop him in time from killing the grandmother. And then Rengoku's like, yeah, hold my beer. And then in one strike, he just chops his head off in one beautiful moment. And it was just absolutely beautiful how they did that in like slow motion, how like his head like flew off. It was just absolutely gorgeous. So Rengoku ends up saving the day, killing the slasher demon, rescuing the little girl and her grandmother. Really nice moment. And they end up giving him a bento box for free. And then he ends up in return again buying all the bento boxes that he ends up taking on the train, which is something we see in the movie, which was really cool. So yeah, that's pretty much like the gist of the episode in a nutshell, because then from there, now the sun comes up, and now the Mugen Train is going to be going into service that day. And then during the credits, we get to see a little stuff of like the people boarding the train, certain characters from the movie, which I'm not going to go into spoilers about the movie, in case you're one of the 4 people out there that haven't seen the movie yet. If you haven't, I strongly recommend doing so. But yeah, so that pretty much wraps up the episode. Then it pretty much ends off with Rengoku, like, eating the bento box and being like, delicious, and like, he yells every time he takes a bite, which is where we started off the movie. So it was like a perfect segue into the movie. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up the episode. So overall, I think that this episode was just truly, truly amazing. I didn't think we'd really get action in this episode, so I was really pleasantly surprised that we did get to see a mixture of like background of Rengoku and also like a nice little action sequence throughout. I just thought, everything about it was like just so awesome. The art, 10 out of 10, animation, 10 out of 10, story, 10 out of 10, the musical scoring, 10 out of 10. It was just absolutely beautiful. And if this is the amount of effort that was put into this just first episode, if that's anything of like what we have to come for the rest of the season, we're going to be in for a really big treat. So I am just super excited. Studio Ufotable knocks it out of the park once again, and I just absolutely love this episode, and I've just come to really love Rengoku's character, and I'm really glad that we got to see more content with this, and I hope that in the future we do get to see more of him as well in different ways. And just one other scene I want to touch on really quick, after he defeated the demon, and we get that juxtaposition of him with his father doing the same exact movements of how they take their sword after, and they like all the movements, and they kept cutting back and forth, and just him like sheathing his sword. Oh my god, the art and animation that part, and just the musical scoring, like, it was just absolutely unbelievable. So for me, I just can't get over how good this episode was for just like a episode 1 that might even technically be filler in the grand scheme of things. I'm not 100% sure. But if this is just episode 1, we are in for such a treat for the rest of the season. I am so excited to talk about it, and I'm actually happy that they are readapting the movie Mugen Train as part of the season. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about that. But for me, I didn't get a chance to talk about the movie on my channel, so this will give me a chance in piecemeal to be able to talk about, the events that occurred in the movie, because the movie was absolutely unreal, and I'm really curious to see kind of how they do that, if they're just going to chop up the movie, or if they're going to add new stuff as well. I'm really curious to see that, but overall, phenomenal episode. I highly recommend you watch it. I hope you've checked it out at this point if you've already watched this review. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What did you think of this episode, and how do you feel about them readapting the Mugen Train arc as part of Season 2. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next one.